Great trading day today. So let me get this tweeted out so everybody joined in here. 1 second, please. Oh, it does that. Literally, the whole thing is copied and only pastes the one thing in there. Okay, there we go. Good. There's that. And let's say there. Cool, cool, cool. Schnossum, schnossum, schnossum. All right. Well, good. Well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. Cool, cool, cool. And so today we're continuing our series here on what happens if, right? So we're kind of digging into, we're kind of focusing just on SPX this week in the public Twitter and here on YouTube as well. And it's really helpful, guys, because if you just trade SPX, you can still do pretty well. So it's pretty fun stuff there. But today we're going to talk about what happens if there is more to Wave C. So we did pretty good yesterday, right? So we talked about the potential for an ABC pullback, and we got an A, we got a B, and it looks like we're starting Wave C. So we're going to take a look at that in a little bit here. But before we do, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. All right, so first thing we're going to do, guys, is we're just going to check and see where we left off with the market today. We're going to take a look at the futures. I'm not going to get into the Elliott Wave until we get into the actual show content itself. And we're going to take a look at the futures and see what we're up to down to here this evening. What are we setting up going into tomorrow? And then we'll run through the topic, and then we'll take questions and chart requests. So let's get started. All right, so guys, SPX today, really, it's kind of just a little bit of a down day, down about 6 points here today. Still green on the monthly chart. Weekly chart still looking good. McClellan oscillator hanging in there. RSI just kind of up and down off of overbought, 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 overbought. So looking for bearish divergence at this point now is kind of futile until maybe we can get it back above the upper Bollinger Band, have a big close above it where things maybe get a little bit extended there. So we'll see how that goes. Again, but still continue to grind its way up, guys. And don't forget, it is a holiday weekend coming up, right? So yay, Labor Day, everybody! Congratulations, we made it. So really cool stuff there. But we're also expecting a bunch of chop, and today's about as choppy as you can get when you get a nice narrow range inside day, right? So it makes it challenging, right? Because you get used to a couple big moves, a couple pushes off the 80 some big stuff, then you get this really choppy day. You're like, oh, why aren't we moving? Why is it going up and down? Right? So it's a little bit tricky right there. But narrow range at NR4 inside day, so not huge, right? This was not an NR7 because that was one of the narrowest range days of the year. But definitely getting tight, right? But we saw this here during the Memorial Day weekend, right? Before and after as well. We had a lot of inside days, and it's kind of just chopped around, and it's kind of held the 80 So we might just wait here and just see how the if the 80 catches up to the price action, right? So we're definitely keeping an eye on that. So let's look at the futures, and then we'll get to the Elliott Wave count and kind of see what we've been tracking here. So futures here tonight, guys. Looks like we're up about $6.50. What was kind of interesting is that today, last night, guys, after we got off the show, before I logged off for the night, right? I put this geometric line on here, and I was like, let's see how it goes, right? Have a great night, everybody, and put the geo line on here, and then boom, it just broke out of there, like at about like 11 o'clock at night, and just ripped. And that wasn't even European market open. That was just ripping. And there was like no volume on this stuff either, right? And we're talking 400 contracts, 200 contracts, right? I mean, but it just kept going. I mean, even this one here, this had 2,000. So maybe Jay Powell like put his pajamas on. I was like, yeah, let's buy. And then the European market opened at 2 o'clock, right? And normally we get an overnight drift to the upside, but this time we actually drifted down, which is kind of interesting. And so once I saw that, I was like, well, they probably took a lot of the fun out overnight, and they often do that. But it got me a little bit inspired for that A, B, potential for a wave C down type move, right? So again, these are the futures, not the SPX, so they're a little bit different. But it's pretty tough to call right here at this point, right? So we got through the geometric line here tonight, this afternoon, after hours, and we kind of broke above that. We're just kind of hanging in here right now. So let's see how that holds going into the rest of the evening. I'm going to draw one more geo here tonight to see how this holds going out throughout the evening, right? That lower one right here. And just see if that gives us any levels. We could actually do one pretty much straight across right here. Just a little bit of an upper geo on that one. See if we could break through there. If we can, right, that could give us some decent moves, right? But very, very interesting stuff, right? So we'll see. We'll see what they have in store. So let's go to the wave count and see what happens if there is more to Wave C. Now, Wave C could be in. Let's go to SPX. Let's go to the hourly chart, right? We looked at the daily chart, right? We saw we were pushing. We had this NR7, NR4 inside day. Still have an open gap below, right? So that is always something to kind of keep an eye on. The longer the gaps hold, right, the more bullish things tend to become. Okay, so here we go. This is where we were yesterday, right? So when we closed yesterday, right, we got this we have this nice red candle right here. It looked like things were kind of turning over. Does that mean it's going to happen? No. We could easily gap up, and it looked like we were gapping up early this morning, like about 5:30. Like we said, those futures were up like 10 points. I was like, okay, well, I guess that's it. That's your corrective wave. We'll keep going. But then they ended up drifting down into the open, and we got a nice little flush here at the open. Very, very bearish at the open. But it's hard to trust that, right, when the market is bullish, right? One of the things that we talked about in the group on the live stream this morning is that, guys, careful with wave A, right? Wave A's are the hardest waves to trade, right? That's we like to trade waves 3, right? We like to trade waves 5, and we like to trade wave C. Right, because wave C oftentimes give you really, really nice moves, right? So real nice, right? Decent moves right there. So if you can catch a good one. But these days we've actually seen a little bit of some truncated wave Cs right here. We got the ABC down right here, then we're kind of started our way up. So the real question is now, what do we got going on? Right, so do we have an ABC? Is that it? Are we truncated again right here, basically kind of at the lows, and we start going up? Are we? So if that's the case, right, then we could just kind of keep working our way up. We got a fresh impulsive wave up. That was the corrective wave. We get another impulsive wave going. Or we could actually be starting a triangle. That's a possibility too. Wave 4s can be triangle. What else can be a triangle? Wave B. Wave B can be a triangle. So wave 4 and wave B are the only waves that can be triangles. So it looks like we're in wave 4. Possible triangle here, right? Because we have a higher low and we also have a lower high. So that is usually the start of a triangle. And also, guys, just as a clue, an inside day is usually the start of a triangle, right? Or an inside candle is the start of a triangle on a lower time frame, right? So that's also something to kind of keep an eye on as well. Now, that is possible. Futures are up here this evening, but if we actually go red tomorrow morning and we gap down, then that will be interesting for wave C. Right, because then what we have here is we have A, B, and then we kind of have this 1, 2, and a gap down would make it wave 3 of C. Right, so what kind of pattern is this? Right, if it breaks down and we gap down, right, we know it's not a triangle, right, because it takes out the lows. Right, so what are the other two types of patterns? The two types of corrective patterns other than complex patterns, right? You get your zigzag, which is a 5. They're all ABC patterns, but different numbers in them. So 5, 3, 5. Zigzags are my favorite, right? Because the first move down is impulsive. Now this is not very impulsive, right? Usually you can count 5 waves in an impulsive wave. This was kind of impulsive down here, right? And then you got another impulsive wave down. So we like those. When we see that in a corrective wave, we get excited because then we know that wave C. You know, we don't know, but we're fairly certain wave C is going to be pretty powerful. So you get a 3, 3, 5. However, though, a flat tends to look kind of flattish, right? But you get an A, you get a B, and then it's a 3, 3, 5, right? And then your wave C is going to be a 5 wave. It's still going to be an impulsive wave. It may not be as big as a zigzag type impulsive wave, but we would still expect 5 waves down. So if that's the case and we do gap down tomorrow, then that could give us our wave C, could give us a nice push, and then we just got to see what happens from there, right? And see how strong it is or not, right? So we'll just kind of pay attention to it and see what that price action tells us going into tomorrow. So that is what can happen if there's more to wave C. Anyway, guys, good stuff. Hopefully you found that helpful. At this point now, if anybody's got any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window. And we'll get through as many as we can, try to wrap up as early as possible so we can all get a good night's sleep and have another awesome trading day tomorrow. So good stuff. All right. So Shirley sent a few in here via email. Shirley, hope you're doing great out there. You got some great ones on the list here today. So Zoom. What's going on with Zoom, guys? We talked about this last night. Wow, that got really crushed, right? So it was originally it was in this gap here on its first move down after earnings, and then it was down here, right? We talked about this last night, and then we ended up opening up in the 290s. What did I say? I said 275 is really kind of like the next main level, right? And that's right down here. So let's see, guys. This one looks like it's down for the count a little bit right here. That's some huge volume on Zoom. A lot of people getting rid of their positions. Not the time to start buying unless it was a green candle and we broke above it tomorrow. And we just don't have that right now. So let's keep an eye on it. Right? I wouldn't be surprised if this thing chopped for like 40 days or something like that before things got going again. Let's see if it did anything comparable recently. I mean, it had a big gap down here, then kind of went sideways, up, sideways. I mean, so just keep an eye on it and see what it does. I mean, it's a very, very interesting area right here. Let's see if it continues to hold on to that 275. That's going to be important for Zoom. MA. So the banks, the XLF was really tough today, guys. And one of the sectors that we pointed out with relative weakness yesterday in our group at the end of the day is when we looked for swing ideas at the close. And we looked at the credit cards, and the credit cards were generally pretty weak, right? I love the increased volume yesterday under the ADMA. And we got some nice follow through the downside here today on MasterCard. So keep an eye on the radar. Oops, keep an eye on the radar, and see if it gets any more downside. That was a pretty nice drop there from yesterday's idea. TCOM. Not a telecommunications company, by the way. Yeah, wow, big move on TCOM, right? Nice bull flag up here, right? So I like how it broke the 50-day, increased volume, and pierced the cloud. The K-Web is nice and strong today, so good stuff there. The skills, let's take a look. Skills to pay the bills. Skills going crazy here, guys. This is one we talked about on the videos today, and I even tweeted it out for you guys too with a nice cup and handle breakout here on the shorter term time frame. You can see this nice big cup handle, and there was also a little inverse head and shoulders here too. So you got multiple chart patterns, and then Kapowie, right, for a big breakout right here today. It's up pretty nicely here after hours too. Let's see if that holds going into tomorrow. But yeah, this thing was hot today. This thing was hot. Options alerts on it. Shares trading higher, not seeing company specific news. I guess this was just the meme name they got going today. I mean, there's no good news on it. Last thing they were talking about is selling more shares, right? Diluting their shares even more. So we'll see, guys. I don't see it was one holding up too much. But if we do gap up tomorrow, this thing could get wild. We do have an open gap above it. It was a nice close above the ADMA. So that's something to keep an eye on there, too. And last, let's take a look at Tesla. So Tesla, guys, potential pause day. Increased volume on a smaller candle after a big push. Right, so let me clean this chart up for you guys. So, but yeah, big push, potential pause day. Let's see if it continues to work its way up. So nice find on that, Shirley. Great finds. Good. And Options Rock sent a few in here via Twitter. Guys, give me one quick second. All right, back. Sorry about that, guys. Had to tend to something there real quick. But yeah, Tesla potential doji sandwich up. So let's keep an eye on that one. Could be interesting. Thanks, Shirley. Really appreciate it. So Options Rock, ICPT. Let's take a look. ICPT hanging in there, getting over the ADMA. So let's see if that can keep going there. Wow, getting really tight here again. So let's see if that can get going. JYNT. Decent little candle there today, looking interesting, right? So give a nice push, possible double pause day on that one. And PD, let's take a look here. PD with a potential doji sandwich up, maybe a run up into earnings. Let's see. So good stuff there. Otas, what's going on? Hope everyone had a great trading day. Awesome, hope you did too. Yeah, Disney. Yeah, so Disney, guys, decent candle today. Bullish, kind of a outside day today. Big upper shadow, which makes it a little bit tough, but nice move there today. Netflix with a breakout on Netflix, guys. It's really tough. I mean, it's already made a really, really big move right here. Does it have more in it? Maybe, right? It's kind of clearing some levels right here. Yeah, we're kind of right at the fringe end of it right here at this 569, 570 level. So I think definitely worth keeping an eye on here if Netflix has any more in it. So it had a good finish today too. So nice stuff there. Tesla ready. Yep, possible pause day today. So it could be a doji sandwich up. Definitely something to keep an eye on there. PLTR. Inside day, kind of hung in there today, so see if we break that inside day up. And NVIDIA, yeah, I know, 2 red days today, and technically an evening star reversal today, close 50% of the range of the first candle from 2 candles ago. So let's see what it has in store. But yeah, very, very interesting stuff. Yeah, the semis we pointed out, AMD this morning and NVIDIA both with relative weakness. Very, very interesting stuff. Dan, what's going on? VXF, let's take a look. VXF, Vanguard, Extended Market, ETF. Yeah, I mean, it's hanging in there, right? So possible harmonic type move. It just finished up. So just see how it holds. It's over the ADMA. Looks okay. Nick, NCLH, let's take a look. Kind of getting really tight there between the 50 and the 80 MA, so it's getting kind of tight between its moving averages, so it might be getting ready to move there. Angela, what's going on? Good to see you. That's all good. Yeah, let's take a look. We got skills to pay the bills. Let's take a look. So another look at this one right here. Again, good push day up after hours. Let's see if we can get over the pre-market highs tomorrow and continue to go. It's a wild one. It has no reason to go except for its memeness. AMC actually had a pretty decent day today too. Got over yesterday's highs, so that looks pretty good there too with increasing volume. So let's see if those meme names are ready to keep moving. Dan, what's going on? Good to see you. Armando, good to see you too. Disney, yeah. So again, nice outside day today. Nasty upper shadow, so just a little bit of caution off of that one. LRCX, tough name, but it did bounce off the 80 MA. And MO, let's take a look. MO, yeah, grinding its way up right here. Looks like almost like three white soldiers here. We had a kind of a doji sandwich up from yesterday, so very, very nice move on this one. Got crushed not too long ago, right after it's what was the news that the White House was going to like ban cigarettes, and then it did work its way up here. So takes a little bit of time sometimes. So we got that going on. And hello there, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's take a look at Beyond. So Beyond looking interesting, getting really, really tight right here, right? So Beyond's one that moves occasionally, and you got to be really, really careful with it. But right now, it's not doing anything. So good stuff there. And M King Netflix, yeah. So this one is really a big push right here so far. It gave like a 5-day pause day, and then it moved upper shadow, and then it kind of pushed again, right? It's kind of pushing again, and we just looked at the weekly chart here too. Over this 570 level, could start to get interesting for it. So we'll see if Netflix is ready to move. It's a tough name, but it could be getting ready. So it's a good stuff there. Good. Well, good stuff, guys. I really appreciate everybody's chart requests tonight and questions. I hope everybody has an awesome evening. We'll see you guys bright and early here tomorrow morning for the Good Morning Market Prep video. And until then, stay healthy out there and remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game.